It's around the world. It's your boy Adam here live on Couch Sports Football, and we are back with Premier League action, ladies and gentlemen, where we have Chelsea taking on Fulham in the Premier League, and Chelsea have had some absolute beauties signed in the transfer window. The question is it enough to shoot them up the table? Because currently they sit 10th in the table, ladies and gentlemen. A victory today pushes them, I think, up to 6, I think. If I recall correctly, let me have a look. So victory today will push them up to 32. Yeah, 6th. Obviously, with the rest of the teams to play this weekend. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge game in the Premier League, and he's not messing about. He's not messing about. Mudrik, Enzo, Badiashile all start today, ladies and gentlemen. They all start today. Who comes out on top? João Felix sent off on his debut against Saud. My brother, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I heard Ronaldo scored his first goal against, for Al Nassr. Penalty? Have you watched him play for Al Nassr? Have you watched any of his games? Let's give you the Chelsea Fulham head-to-head. 75 head-to-heads with Chelsea winning 45 of them. Fulham winning 8. Chelsea have scored 127 goals in this tie. And Fulham had scored 64. The players will be coming out here shortly. The question is, can Graham Potter get these players on side? Can he get them working? Doesn't seem to be going well for them. At this moment in time, they currently sit 10th. Huge game here in the Premier League. Enzo Fernandez, Mikhailo Mudrik, Badiashile, João Felix. The list goes on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. They did loan one back to the team that they got him from. Let's see. Let's see who they got. I think they spent something like 500 million in the window. Let's see. So Enzo Fernandez, Mikhailo Mudrik, Benoit Badiashile, Noni Madueke. I think he's the one that they've loaned back. Gusto, Andre Santos, Fofana, João Felix, Slomina. He came in the summer. I think that's all of them. Hello, folks. Scuba Culture, how you doing there? We're talking about the Chelsea spending spree that they've gone on. Daddy there. With a subscription. Scuba Culture there with a subscription. I appreciate that, Scuba. How you doing, my brother? Welcome to the stream. Real Madrid will win the FIFA World Cup. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see about that one. But how are we all doing? Welcome to the stream. The players will be coming out here shortly. Graham Potter has gone Enzo Fernandez and Gallagher in the middle of the park. Enzo Fernandez gets his debut. Now, I feel Enzo Fernandez is going to be a world superstar in years to come. But to start him central midfield against Fulham, where it's going to be a quite physical game, is that the right call by Graham Potter? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Enzo red card, Nutty Rich there in the chat. Nah, I can't see Enzo getting a red card. Enzo Enzo Fernandez is more of a Jorginho kind of player. You give him the ball, he turns, he distributes it out wide, he moves the ball about, he knows what he's doing. He's very, very intelligent player. Intelligence on the level of a Luka Modric, a Kevin De Bruyne, a Bruno Fernandes, a Christian Eriksen, a Juan Mata. Very Xabi Alonso, very intelligent in the way that he plays football. But it's Fulham, and Fulham are going to be all over him like a rash. And the question is, can he just put that all behind him and do something today against this Fulham side? I'm unreasonably nervous about the Everton game tomorrow. Scuba Culture, I was talking about that today. I work with a few colleagues. Everton have nothing to play for tomorrow. They are not guaranteed winners. They're not even guaranteed scorers. Never mind winning the game. They don't even look like scoring a goal. But then you come across an Arsenal side who have to win. They have to win, Arsenal. It's as simple as that. They're going for the title. They have to win. They cannot slip up now. And again, playing against Everton's the worst time to play against Everton. But we'll have to wait and see. I still think Arsenal have it in them, but we'll see what Sean Dyche has. Let's see what he does for Everton tomorrow. Man City 3-0. Haaland hat-trick. Wow, sound there is coming up there with the figures. Let's transfer over to the game there for you guys here on Cow Sports Football. It is Chelsea taking on Fulham. Take it easy, my brother. Sound well. Thanks for coming by. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. This is a huge game, ladies and gentlemen, in the Premier League. It's not just about Chelsea and their spending spree. This is about a path back to the glory days. Can they do it? We'll have to wait and see. He's got the players. Todd Bowley hasn't just pulled out his checkbook. He's thrown as many players as he can at Graham Potter. He's told Graham Potter, he's backed him. A lot of managers haven't been backed in the window. It's as simple as that. They have backed him. They've given him the figures. They've given him the players. They've given him something to work with. He has half a season still in the Champions League, 10th in the Premier League. He has half a season to turn this around with the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Badiashile, João Felix. They've got players there. James is back in the starting 11. Now, one player who was unfortunate to not get his January transfer move was Hakim Ziyech, who starts tonight up front for Chelsea. Dindles there to go live. I appreciate the kind words, Dindles. How you doing, my brother? But Enzo Fernandez is walking out here. Let's give you the Chelsea team news, ladies and gentlemen. We have Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Reece James is back in the squad. He is the player that makes the team tick. He's the one that attacks down the right-hand side and gives Chelsea such a brilliant, such finesse quality. You can say as many words as you want, but he is brilliant when he plays for Chelsea. Benoit Badiashile and Cucurella with Thiago Silva, the other defenders. Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez and Mason Mount. Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz and Mikhailo Mudryk play up front. And last game when Liverpool played against Chelsea, Hakim Ziyech came alive when Mudryk came on shore. The question is this the player to unlock the potential that we saw at Ajax with Hakim Ziyech? What do you guys think in the chat? Let's give you the Fulham team news. Leno is in goal. Kenny Tete, Issa Diop, Tim Ream, and Robinson at the back four. Paulinho and Reed, the midfield two. Decadova, Reed, Pereira, and Willian. just behind the striker Alexandra Mitrovic, ladies and gentlemen, here on Cal Sports Football. Chelsea against Fulham. Fulham won 2-1 earlier on in the season. João Felix getting a red card for his foul. But this is a huge game, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely massive in the Premier League, not just for Chelsea, but for English football. The oldest player in the Premier League, Thiago Silva, who feels as though it's not the right time to retire because Chelsea need him. He's fallen in love with the London club. He can't leave them without knowing they have someone to rely on. Is Benoit Badiashile one of them? Alexandra Mitrovic, first in headed shots. Is that something Fulham can exploit? Enzo Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen, I think this kid is going to be a world superstar. I'm telling you now, this kid is going to be a world superstar, but is this the game you bring him onto from the start? He's never played the Premier League. He's from the Portuguese league. And yes, he performed at the World Cup like he's been doing it all his life, but we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Mikhailo Mudryk, 88.5 million signing, first start for Chelsea here on Cal Sports Football. Dindle's in the chat. The question is Kepa versus Leno, Man versus Willian, Havertz versus Mitrovic. I want to see a good game. You're not the only one. Dindles, we want to see a brilliant game here on Cal Sports Football. Todd Bowley there. He's given Graham Potter the pieces. Can Graham Potter complete the puzzle? Chelsea at home shooting from left to right. Fulham shooting from right to left here on Cal Sports Football. Chelsea in their famous blue kit. Fulham in their white kit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Premier League has been gone for a while and is back here live on Cal Sports Football with Chelsea to start the game off here on this left-hand side. Bro, Chelsea signed João Felix and ruined it. Will Enzo do the same? We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Long ball point over the top by James, and it's gone out for a goal kick on the right side for Fulham. Like I said, Fulham shooting from right to left, Chelsea from left to right. Prediction, by the way, I think Chelsea are winning this. I think they win 3-1. I'll be honest with you, I can see them scoring goals. I can feel the excitement in the fans. I can see the players, getting themselves behind this club. Reece James is back in the squad. I feel they can go and make a good result today. You think it's going to be 1-0 Fulham? We'll have to wait and see. Thiago Silva there from the throwing is cleared away. Kepa will gather it in his hands here on this left-hand side, and Chelsea restart the game here. Benoit Badiashile, partners. Thiago Silva, 2-0 Scuba Culture to Chelsea. So we've got 2 Chelsea wins and 1 Fulham. We'll have to wait and see. Benoit Badiashile out wide to Cucurella. Returns it back to Badiashile. He's forced to hold on to the ball here. Mitrovic tries to charge him down. Goes into Cucurella, but he can't spin away from Decordova Reed. And he goes up for a Chelsea throwing here down that left-hand side. Cucurella now to take the throwing here. Over the top towards Havertz. Tries to bring the ball under control. Mason Mount loses it. Fulham with it back down the right side. Tried to bring it forward with Reed, but it's intercepted by Enzo Fernandez. And he switches it out wide here towards Reece James. And he brings the ball forward into Hakim Ziyech. James carries on with this run. Can he get there ahead of Willian? Yes, he will. And he'll hold on to the ball here, but Willian snaps back at him. And he goes up for a throwing here down this right-hand side for Chelsea. 2 minutes into the game. Gonna go watch the game. Take it easy, Dindles. Here we go with Havertz now from the throwing. Into the middle there finds Enzo Fernandez. And he lays it into Benoit Badiashile on the centre circle in the Fulham half. Squares it into the path of Cucurella, and he goes out wide to Mikhailo Mudryk. Backwards to Cucurella, and it goes all the way back to Badiashile. I love that name, I'll be honest with you. Badiashile. I'm waiting for him to score an absolute beauty or a last-minute winner. Ball threaded through by Thiago Silva into the path of Conor Gallagher. He feeds it first time into Mason Mount. Out to Mikhailo Mudryk on the left-hand side. Returns it back to Mason Mount, but the keeper's off his line, and Mudryk just couldn't find the return pass, and Fulham restart the game here on this right-hand side. Here we go with Robinson. Into the path of Diop on the right-hand side for Fulham. Bringing the ball forward. They'll want to just try and keep the game flowing out wide here towards Decadova Reed. Can he get the head of Cucurella? Yes, he does. One-on-one against him. Goes backwards to Reed. Back to Decadova Reed. Whipped into the box there towards Mitrovic, but it's headed away by Thiago Silva. And Enzo Fernandez is there with the clearance, but it comes out to Willian down the left-hand side. Robinson takes it off him. And it goes out for a free kick on the left-hand side for Chelsea. Fifth Premier League star of the season for Ziyech. James into Badiashile. Goes out to Cucurella down the left-hand side, and Cucurella holds on to it. Squares it back to Badiashile. All the way back to Thiago Silva here down the left-hand side. 4 minutes into the game. Out wide here towards Reece James. James holds on to it. Squares it into Gallagher. Gallagher on the touchline backwards to James. And James returns it back to Thiago, who leaves it to Kepa here on the left-hand side. Kepa into Badiashile. Bringing the ball forward here. Enzo is behind him, but he brings the ball into the Fulham half now and switches it out to the right side towards Hakim Ziyech, who's one-on-one against Robinson. Tries to get away from him, but Robinson just heads the ball away. And he's brought down their free kick here, Fulham on the right side. Uh, uh, oops. Fulham to restart the game here on the right side. Long kick out from the keeper, Leno, headed away by James, and it goes out for a Fulham throwing here on the left-hand side. 5 minutes into the game, Chelsea nil, Fulham nil. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea sit 10th on the table, but Todd Bowley has given them what is required to try and help Graham Potter get this team back up the table. The question is, can Graham Potter do it? Let me know in the chat. Ball goes all the way backwards to Ream on the right side. Ream squares it into Robinson, who brings it into the Chelsea half. Hakim Ziyech is tracking back. Robinson gets away from James here, and he puts the ball into the box across the 6-yard box. It's gone through everyone. Cucurella's there. But I think it went out for a goal kick, and Robinson there getting past James. Far too easy there. You expect more from Reece James here. Robinson picks up the ball, gets away from Ziyech, and he just drives past James like he's not there, but he's just going to keep the ball in play. Chelsea restart from the goal kick with Reece James. Thiago Silva on the left-hand side, bringing the ball forward. Pereira comes over, squares into the path of Badiashile, through to Mount, but he goes backwards to Badiashile, and it's Thiago now on the ball. Silva out wide here to James. James on the halfway line into Havertz. First time into Ziyech, returns it back to Havertz. Havertz loses the ball there to Paulinho, but it goes up for a Chelsea throwing here down the right side. Robinson to take the throwing. Mitrovic can't get away from the ball. Enzo Fernandez is there with the touch, and it goes up for another. Fulham throwing here on the halfway line. Robinson to take the throwing here. On the halfway line for Fulham. 7 minutes into the game. Robinson into Mitrovic, who flicks it into the path of Willian, but Enzo Fernandez is there. But his pass is intercepted there by Mitrovic, and Gallagher's there to pick up the pieces. James will just clear it down the line. Havertz battling out against Ream, who wins the header. Paulinho on the halfway line, brought down. Game carries on. Hakim Ziyech is there. It falls to Mitrovic. Mitrovic can't get away from Enzo Fernandez. And Mason Mount plays a 1-2 with Havertz. He's got Mikhailo Mudryk driving with the ball. And he's intercepted there by Tete, and it's cleared away. And here we go with Fulham, with Dekutova Reed on the right side. Pereira's tracking forward, but Badiashile forces him to go backwards. But Paulinho's there, brought down. And it's going to be a free kick here for Fulham. Mason Mount there. Just a bit end-to-end in the last couple of minutes. Chelsea now restart here. Sorry, Fulham restart here on the Shrine side. 9 minutes into the game. They have a free kick. And we all know what they're going to do from that free kick. Dekadova Reed steps over to take the free kick on the right side. Short into Reed. Reed out wide to Willian. Willian's got Pereira to his right, and he finds it. Pereira 1-1 against Mason Mount, but he puts the ball first time into the box. Headed away by Enzo Fernandez. Headed back into the box by Reed. Reem is there jumping up. Enzo Fernandez battling out against Paulinho. Tries to find Dekadova Reed, but it's cleared away. And it falls to Hakim Ziyech, who brings the ball under control, tries to find Mikhailo Mudryk, but it's intercepted there by Reed. Willian gets away from Cucurella. Down the right side, Mason Mount is tracking back. Willian holds onto the ball. Goes backwards. Ball whips into the box towards Dekadova Reed, and it comes off Thiago Silva. And it goes out for a corner down that left-hand side, for Fulham. 9 minutes into the game, Fulham have not come here to help Chelsea. They have not come here following the script that Chelsea expected. 10 minutes into the game, they are going for it. Pereira steps over to take the corner down that right-hand side for Fulham. They've had 11 goals from crosses, which is the best in the Premier League this season. 10 minutes into the game. Mitrovic against Fernandez. It's a short corner into Reed. Out wide to Pereira. Pereira takes it out of his feet. Tries to whip it in, but it comes off Mudryk. And it goes out for a throwing down that right side. Mitrovic there claiming for something of Enzo. But he goes into Enzo more than Enzo, bringing him down. A throwing here for Fulham down the right side. 11 minutes into the game. A goal now would silence Stamford Bridge. Here we go with Mitrovic. Tries to feed into Reed, but Mason Mount there. Mikhailo Mudryk loses the ball. It falls to Cucurella, and he just clears it down the line. Havertz can't get there. Reem does. Heads it into Reed, but it's intercepted there. Paulinho wins the ball back for Fulham, high up in the Chelsea half, and it goes out for a Fulham throwing on that right side. Enzo Fernandez there trying to win the ball. When it goes out for a throw, taken quickly into the path of Dekadova Reed. Loses the ball to Mikhailo Mudryk, finds Mason Mount, who takes in a stride, but Paulinho's there to usher it out for a Chelsea throwing down that left-hand side. Badiashile there, brought down by Mitrovic, free kick. Chelsea down this left-hand side. Mitrovic needs to be careful here. We all know he's a very aggressive player and a physical player, and the last thing you need to do is start squaring up to the linesman. Mitrovic just needs to be careful here. You don't want to get a yellow card for no reason. Kepa to restart the game here for Chelsea. Ziyech. Out wide here towards Gallagher, who's behind Willian. Willian tracks back. James makes overlapping run. Gallagher with a ball into the box. Mudryk is there, but he can't keep it. And it falls to Tete, who just clears it into the path of Deckard over Reed. Heads it on, but it falls to the Mason Mount. Mason Mount now goes backwards to Badiashile on the halfway line. Short to Thiago here. Bring the ball into the Fulham half. Out wide here to James. James has space to bring the ball forward here. Can he find someone in the box? He holds on to it. Mason Mount makes overlapping run, but James out wide here towards Ziyech. Backwards to James. Robinson does well to win the ball back, and it goes out for a Fulham throwing. Andres Pereira there just having a word with the referee. 13 minutes into the game. Robinson to take the throwing down the right side. Mitrovic heads into the pass of Pereira, who can't get away from Enzo Fernandez. Short towards James. James goes backwards to Thiago. Thiago into Badiashile on the centre circle. And he returns it all the way back to the keeper, Kepa. Kepa goes short to Badiashile. Out wide to Cucurella on the touchline. Cucurella goes backwards to Badiashile. Pereira can't get the ball off him. He goes to the ground. Badiashile does well to shrug him off. Switches it over the top to Thiago. Thiago out wide here towards James. James holding on to the ball now. 14 minutes into the game. Brings the ball into the Fulham half down the right side. Thiago Silva into Fernandez. Out wide to Badiashile on the left hand side. Bringing the ball into the Fulham half. Backwards to Enzo Fernandez on the centre circle. Switches it out wide here towards Reece James. Ziyech is in the box, but he goes across the middle, but he couldn't get a clear connection on it, and it's cleared away by Fulham. Big opportunity there for Chelsea down the right side. He was actually offside. It was actually offside. So Fulham restart here in the 15th minute of the game. 15 minutes into the game. We are currently 0-0, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? Whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, it's your boy Adam here live on Cal Sports Football, bringing you the commentary for Chelsea against Fulham. Are you a Chelsea fan? Are you a Fulham fan? Or are you just a fan of football? Let me know in the chat where you're from, and let's talk some football. How was the transfer window for your team? Are you happy with the way it went? Or are you an Everton fan? Absolutely fuming. And who wouldn't be? Badiashile on the ball here on the left-hand side. Into the path of Enzo Fernandez on the halfway line, who takes it in his stride, and he goes backwards to Mason Mount, and Mason Mount brings Thiago Silva into play. Out wide here towards Ziyech, who brings the ball forward into the Fulham half. He's got James and Gallagher ahead of him, but he switches it out to the left-hand side towards Mikhailo Mudryk, but Leno is off his line, and Fulham restart. And I said it in the last game, when Mudryk came on for Chelsea, Hakim Ziyech came alive, because he had someone on that far left-hand side to switch to. And is that something that can work for Chelsea? Is that a relationship that can build for Chelsea? Ziyech and Mudryk, the switch. We all know Ziyech can distribute the ball. Mudryk likes to run in behind. So is that something Chelsea can exploit against not just Fulham, but other teams in the league? We'll have to wait and see. Badiashile now on the ball. Plays a 1-2 with Havertz, and he goes all the way back to Kepa on this left-hand side. Kepa on the edge of his own box into the path of Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva now on the ball. You can see Fulham, when Chelsea have the ball, they go to a flat 4-4-2 formation. Pereira joins Mitrovic high up the field. Willian out to the left-hand side. Decordova, Reed out to the right. Paulinho and Reed play through the middle. But Chelsea have managed to play out of the back. But it's intercepted there by Fulham with Paulinho. Mitrovic tries to find the path of Decordova, Reed. but it's intercepted there by Cucurella, and Enzo Fernandez clears up, and it goes all the way back to Kepa on this left-hand side. But here's Sheila now on the ball here. Into Gallagher, and he goes backwards to Thiago Silva. Bringing the ball forward here for Chelsea. Goes short to Gallagher, and out wide here towards James. Backwards to Silva. Chelsea just moving the ball about. Enzo Fernandez. Into Badiashile. Threads it in towards Mason Mount. Mason Mount has two players to aim for, and he goes out wide to Cucurella. Cucurella returns it back to Mason Mount. Gets himself on the edge of the box, and his shot is blocked by Issa Diop. Gallagher tries to keep it alive, but it falls to Reed, who clears it away. Reem is there with the clearance, and Mitrovic will battle it out against Thiago Silva, but he wins the ball, and it falls to James. James into Gallagher. Gallagher holds onto the ball out wide here to CS. Backwards to James, and he goes all the way back to Thiago Silva on the centre circle. Badia Sheeling on the ball. Threads it in towards Mikhailo Mudryk, but Issa Diop's there to win the ball, and Fulham will counter here with Mitrovic, but he falls to the ground. He manages to hold on to the ball here, but he can't get away from Mikhailo Mudryk, and Cucurella throws a pass into Gallagher on the centre circle. He turns around and sees Akers in space. He's got Havertz to his left. He's got Ziyech to his left, but he goes out wide. Sorry, Ziyech to his right. He finds Ziyech on his right. One touch against Robinson, squares into the path of Enzo. Enzo holds onto the ball, short to Mount on the left-hand side, out wide to Cucurella, and that miscontrol by Ziyech has allowed Fulham to get back into shape on the 19th minute. Mudryk plays a 1-2 with Mount, and he finds Enzo Fernandez. Here we go with Thiago Silva. Over the top towards Havertz, who's in between the defenders, and his first-time shot is saved by Leno, and is headed away. Thiago Silva there with a long drifted ball through the middle between the defenders. Havertz splits the defenders, but he's just offside. And Fulham restart, but where are the defenders? Where is Reem? Where's Issa Diop? Neither of them really taking initiative against Kai Havertz, who just runs through the middle like they're not even there. Bernd Leno made the save, but it was offside. Here we go with Fulham now on the ball with Issa Diop on the right side. Into the path of Mitrovic, tries to feed it first time. Into Decadova Reed, who's in behind Badiashile. But Thiago Silva's tracking back, and a few ricochets comes off Badiashile, and Chelsea come away with it with Enzo Fernandez. Ziyech gets away from Robinson here in the Fulham half. He's driving with the ball. Paulinho's there. He can't get away from Paulinho. And Robinson picks up the loose ball now, bringing the ball into the Chelsea half. Gallagher is there. James wins the ball back, where he falls to Willian, who gets away from James, and he brings it central. Enzo Fernandez is there, but his pass is intercepted there by Mason Mount, and Havertz can't find the return pass, and it falls all the way back to Issa Diop. Fulham to restart the game on the 20th minute. Threaded pass in towards Decadova Reed. Out wide there towards Tete. Can he get the head of Cucurella? Yes, he does. He's on the right side. Ball across the 6-yard box, but Badiashile is there to clear it away, and it goes out for a throwing down that right side 20 minutes into the game. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Decadova Reed with a few opportunities to get in behind, but he just couldn't take in his stride, allowing the Chelsea defenders to get back into play. Ball falls to Mason Mount in the Chelsea half, goes backwards to Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez out wide to Mason Mount. That's a challenge by Paulinho, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets booked for that one. I would not be surprised if he gets booked for that. Paulinho jumps at him. Yeah, that's going to be a yellow card for Paulinho. It's the correct decision. I can't see why anyone would complain about that one. He's in the air when he makes the challenge. Didn't get anywhere near the ball, man. He's been yellow carded, which is the right decision. Chelsea restart here. Again, Mitrovic complaining with the referee. What's he doing? Just play the game. 22 minutes played. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Thiago Silva out wide here towards James. Returns it back to Thiago Silva on this left-hand side. Out wide here towards James. James goes all the way back to Thiago Silva, who lays it into the path of Badiashile. Into Cucurella on the halfway line down that left-hand side, but he goes backwards to Badiashile. Thiago Silva. Over the top towards Gallagher, who flicks it into the path of Ziyech down the right side. Robinson makes him go backwards to James. Out wide to Ziyech. Gallagher's ahead of him. Ziyech holds onto the ball here. Backwards to James. Takes it out of his feet. Whips the ball into the box, but it comes off Willian. And it goes out for a corner down the right side. Willian nil. Chelsea nil, Fulham nil here on Couch Sports Football. Ziyech steps over to take the corner here. You haven't got a lot of height in the box for Chelsea. Havertz, Silva, Badiashile, but besides that, Gallagher maybe. But he's on the outside of the box. Let's see what they do. Ball whipped in there, headed away by Ream. It falls to Gallagher, who heads it out wide here towards Ziyech. Ziyech returns it back to Gallagher. Can he get the head of Willian? He does, but offside flag goes up. And Fulham restart here on the Shine side. So who did Fulham sign in the window? Let's see. I just want to know if Fulham signed anyone. Here we go, the corner for Fulham. Pereira to take a near post. Flicked on by Paulinho, but he can't find a Fulham player, and it goes out for a goal kick here on this left-hand side. So Fulham brought in Sasa Lukic from Torino. They brought in Shane Duffy, and they brought in Cedric Suarez. Let a few players go out. Here we go with James down the ball here. Threads it in towards Havertz, but he loses the ball to Ream. And Ream goes out to Robinson. Robinson over the top towards Pereira, but it's headed away by James. Paulinho wins the ball. And Pereira's pass to Reed is behind him. And he's forced to go back to Issa Diop, who goes all the way back to Leno. Leno short to Ream on the shine side. Ream out wide towards Issa Diop. Into Tete on the halfway line, who turns. But he's forced to go backwards to Reed. Reed on the halfway line. Plays it into Mitrovic. Paulinho tries to thread the pass, but it's intercepted. And Gallagher now has the ball here for Chelsea. Forced to go backwards to Thiago Silva. Silva returns it back to Gallagher here on this left-hand side. James makes the run through the middle. Ziyech is there, tries to feed the ball over the top. But Ream is there to win the ball. Ziyech brings the ball under control into James, who finds Enzo Fernandez. First time into Mason Mount, who's brought down. There's going to be a free kick for Chelsea. Mason Mount there tries to shield the ball away so he can spin away from Decordova Reed. But Decordova Reed just goes into the back of him and brings him down. It's going to be a free kick. Chelsea here on the 26th minute. How are you all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Where are you from? Who do you support? Are you Chelsea fans? Are you Fulham fans? Or are you just fans of football? Let me know in the chat. Enzo Fernandez to take the free kick here. Into Cucurella. Returns it back to Enzo on the centre circle. First time into Thiago Silva, who takes it out of his feet. Sees a run over the top, but he holds on to it. Tries to feed it out wide. But it comes off Willian, and it goes out for a Chelsea throwing here on the 27th minute in the Fulham half. James goes into Silva, and he makes his way into Badiashile on the centre circle. Out wide to Mudryk, one-on-one against Decadova Reed. He gets away from one, and he tries to float the ball through in towards Havertz, but it's not controlled well, and it goes all the way back to the keeper here on this right side. Leno to restart the game here. Ream now for Fulham on this right side. Bringing the ball forward out of the box. Sees the ball out wide towards Decadova Reed. He brings the ball under control, but Cucurella's there. And it goes out for a Fulham throwing here on the right side. Decadova Reed first time in towards Reed on the right side. He can't get away from Badiashile. And Cucurella's there to clear it down the line, and it falls to Havertz, who feeds Mason Mount on the left hand side, and Mason Mount brings the ball forward. He cuts away and he's fine. Ziyech on the right side, but Robinson's tracking back, and Robinson stops the counter, plays it into Willian in the halfway line. Reece James brings him down, and Willian wins a free kick for Fulham here. And Chelsea having a few counter attacks in this game. A few counter attacks in this game, and they're just not coming off for them. Fulham to restart the game here with Robinson. Goes backwards to Ream. Ream's into the path of Issa Diop on the right side. Backwards to Ream here on the centre circle, bringing the ball forward. Switches it again out wide towards Decadova Reed. Cucurella's coming over to cover Decadova Reed. Backwards to Tete. Whips the ball into the box first time. Mitrovic jumps up against Thiago Silva, but it's headed away. Decadova Reed wins the ball back on the edge of the box, but it falls to Reed. Back to Tete. Tete tries to get it out of his feet, but it comes off Cucurella. Mudryk will come away with the ball, and his pass is intercepted there by Paulinho. Reed into Tete. Tete on the right side. Enzo Fernandez comes over to cover. Backwards to Issa Diop. Tries to go around the outside of Havertz, but his pass is intercepted there by Cucurella, and Enzo Fernandez plays a 1-2 with Mudryk. Cucurella now. Over the top towards Havertz. Headed away by Issa Diop. And Enzo Fernandez brings the ball on the halfway line, and he brings it forward. Lays it into the path of Gallagher on the centre circle, but he's ball watching. And Willian wins the ball off him. And he comes away with it here for Fulham. On the halfway line. Backwards to Paulinho on the centre circle. Into the path of Decadova Reed on the right side. 1-on-1 against Cucurella. The Chelsea players are asking for the ball to get kicked out, but this is Fulham. They ain't going to wait for anyone. Tete with the ball into the box. And it's Thiago Silva there. Falls to Enzo Fernandez, who's brought down by Pereira. And that's going to be a free kick here for Chelsea on this left-hand side. 30 minutes into the game. Into the game. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. How are you all doing? Badiashile now. On this left-hand side. Goes all the way back to James. James threads the pass into Havertz on the centre circle. Into Enzo Fernandez out wide here towards Ziyech. Ziyech has got Gallagher ahead of him. But he shifts it onto his left one. Goes backwards to James. Silva on the centre circle. First time into Badiashile. Bringing the ball into the Fulham half. We've had 30 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea 0. Fulham 0. Mudryk. Backwards to Cucurella. Thiago Silva. Badiashile. Into Enzo Fernandez on the centre circle. Sees the ball over the top towards Mason Mount. He tries to bring the ball under control. Into Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz with a shot. And he couldn't keep the ball down, and it's gone over. It's a goal kicker. Maybe Mason Mount had more time than he thought. He picks the ball up on the left-hand side, and he just puts it first time in. Maybe he could have taken an extra step or something. But he does fizz it across the 6-yard box. And Havertz is there, and he just couldn't keep the ball under control. And it goes out for a goal kick for Fulham. Ream now on the ball here for Fulham. Into Reed. Paulinho goes backwards to Leno. Leno on this right side. Into Diop. Out wide there towards Reed. Battling against Enzo Fernandez. It goes out for a Fulham throwing. 32 minutes played. Chelsea nil, Fulham nil. Tete now to restart from the throwing for Fulham. Into Mitrovic, but it's headed away by Silva. Flicked on, but cleared away by Badiashile. Havertz will charge this down, but Ream can't get there. Falls to Havertz on the edge of the box. His shot, first time, and it's just wide of the post. Leno was backtracking there. Fulham restart the game here on the Shine side with Issa Diop. Wide to Tete. Into the middle there towards Decker Reed. Finds Reed on the right side. But the advantage wasn't given to Fulham. The advantage wasn't given to Fulham. They were on the attack. They were in behind on the right side. Oh, Fulham would be fuming with that. Leno on the edge of his own box for Fulham. Into the path of Reem. Reem out wide here to Robinson. Robinson on the touchline. Goes out backwards to Reem. Reem in his own box now, bringing the ball forward for Fulham. And he goes backwards to Leno on the Shine side. Leno into Reem. Goes out to Mitrovic. James forces him backwards. Mitrovic into the path of Reem on the Shine side. We've got 34 minutes played. Just over 10 of the 45 to go plus added time. Chelsea nil. Fulham nil here on Couch Sports Football. Goes out wide to Badiashile. Sorry. Issa Diop. Back to Leno. Reem on the Shine side. Into Pereira on the centre circle. Gets away from Mason Mount, but he can't get away from Gallagher. Enzo Fernandez is there to win the ball back on the centre circle. And he unleashes Ziyech on the Shine side. It's 2-on-1 here. Ziyech on the Shine side. Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? He has Havertz through the middle. He just tries to go on his own. He's left-footed. He shoots with his right foot. And it was more towards the corner flag than goal. What are you doing, Hakim Ziyech? Reem now on the ball here on the Shine side. Out wide to Robinson. Robinson, first time over the top towards Mitrovic, but Thiago Silva's there. He finds James. And James goes back to Badiashile. First time into Enzo Fernandez on the centre circle. Thirds a pass into Gallagher, who has time to turn into Havertz. Out wide to James. James switches it to Mudryk. Heads it on, but it's cleared away by Reed. Cucurella brings the ball under control here down the left-hand side. Back heel into Mudryk, but it falls to Pereira. And Pereira finds Tete on the right side. And he's got no one ahead of him. He's just going to have to poke the ball past Fernandez. And he does. He goes around the right side. Whips the ball into the box towards Willian. Willian heads it into Mitrovic. And he just couldn't control it. Tete on the right side with acres of space to get forward. He manages to get the cross in there. But Fulham again just couldn't capitalize. Here we go with Gallagher. Into Badiashile. Cucurella down the left-hand side. Backwards to Enzo Fernandez. Into the path of Thiago Silva. James. Out wide here to Ziyech on the halfway line. Backwards to James. It goes out to Badiashile. Lays it into the path of Cucurella. 37th minute played. Mudryk now bringing the ball forward. Tries to play a 1-2 with Mason Mount, but it's intercepted. Mason Mount manages to win it back, but it falls to Issa Diop, and he plays it into Pereira on the halfway line. Goes out wide there to Decker Reed. 1-on-1 against Cucurella. He gets his head up, tries to thread the pass, but There's no one there for Fulham, and Chelsea win the ball back here with Thiago Silva. Badiashile bringing the ball forward. Switches it out wide here towards Ziyech, who brings the ball under control. And he goes backwards to Thiago Silva on the edge of his own box. Into Badiashile. First time into Mount. Mount plays it into Enzo Fernandez. Tries to return it back to Mount, but Issa Diop's there to win the ball back. Pereira finds Decadova-Reid, and it's Mitrovic into Paulinho. But he loses the ball to Gallagher. But it falls to Tete. It goes out for a throwing here on the Shine side. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Falls to Mason Mount. Mudryk finds Ziyech. First time out wide towards Mason Mount, but Issa Diop is there to win the ball. And he goes out wide to Tete. First time into Reid. On that touchline, Mudryk is tracking back, but he gets away from him. He's got Mitrovic and Pereira ahead of him. He goes out wide to Decadova-Reid, who holds onto the ball across the middle to Pereira. Back heel into Mitrovic, but he couldn't take in his stride, and Chelsea win the ball back here with Mason Mount over the top towards Kai Havertz, but Ream is there. And he finds Diop on the Shine side. Chelsea just need to slow the game down a bit. They win the ball back and they just straight away trying to fly with the ball over the top, but just need a little bit of composure. Just need to slow it down a bit. Here we go with Ream on the Shine side. Into the path of Issa Diop. Wide to Tete. Plays it into Decadova-Reid, who returns it back to him. Mudryk is tracking back, but it falls to Cucurella, and it's Enzo Fernandez now. Into Gallagher. Gallagher on the centre circle. Out wide here towards Hakim Ziyech. James makes a run in behind Ziyech. Takes in his stride. Tries to feed it into James, but it's intercepted there by Willian. Robinson plays a 1-2 with Mitrovic, and he brings the ball forward, and he gets away from Gallagher. But a handball is given. Chelsea restart here on the halfway line. 39 minutes played. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Just over 5 minutes under 45 to go. Plus added time. Ladies and gentlemen, are you Chelsea fans? Are you Fulham fans? Or are you just fans of football? Let me know in the chat. Let me know who you support and let's talk. Are you happy with your team's transfer window? What do you guys think? Unless you're Everton, I'm assuming most teams should be happy. Thiago Silva on the centre circle into the path of Badiashile in the Fulham half. He's got Mudryk to his left, Enzo through the middle, but he squares it into Cucurella. Manages to go out wide to Mudryk. Mason Mount takes in his stride. Enzo Fernandez tries to return the ball back, but it's intercepted there by Fulham, and it's Mitrovic on the centre circle, who's got Willian down his left-hand side. Cucurella forces him to go backwards, and he manages to hold onto the ball and switch it out wide to Pereira, who couldn't take in his stride, and it goes out for a throwing here for Chelsea down that left-hand side. James goes backwards to Silva. Lays it into the path of Badiashile. 40th minute played. Out wide to Cucurella down the left-hand side, who returns it back to Badiashile. Into the path of Thiago Silva on this left-hand side. Back to Badiashile. Mason Mount on the halfway line. Into Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez. Back to Cucurella. He's forced to go all the way back to Kepa. Pereira tracking him down, but he goes short to Thiago Silva in his own box. Enzo Fernandez now has time to turn and goes out wide to Gallagher on the halfway line. Backwards to James. Chelsea aren't rushing this. Enzo Fernandez goes out wide to Ziyech, but he couldn't take in his stride. Goes out for a Fulham throwing. Robinson now to take the throwing. 41 minutes played. Robinson with a throwing into Mitrovic. Pereira couldn't get there. Enzo Fernandez goes backwards to Badiashile on this left-hand side for Chelsea. 42 minutes played. 3 minutes of the 45 to go plus added time. It's Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Badiashile now bringing the ball forward. Back to Enzo Fernandez on the centre circle, into the path of Thiago Silva on this left-hand side. Gallagher is free to his right, but he goes over the top towards James. He's headed away by Robinson. Willian flicks it on. Mitrovic can't get there. Thiago Silva does, but he can't keep it in play, and it goes out for a Fulham throw and taken quickly by Mitrovic into Pereira. But Thiago Silva's then, he goes back to Kepa. Thiago Silva. Out wide to Cucurella. Reed comes over to apply some pressure. Out wide to Mudryk. Into Fernandez. Loses the ball to Reed here for Fulham down the right side. 1-1 against Enzo, and it goes out for a Fulham throwing down the right side. How are we all doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Adam here, live on Cal Sports Football. Are you Chelsea fans? Are you Fulham fans? Or are you just fans of football? Let me know. Throwing here for Fulham down the right side. Tete plays a 1-2 with Reed. Puts the ball into the box. It comes off Gallagher. Goes out for another Fulham throwing. Did we just get a follow in the chat? Matuti. Matuti? How are you doing, my brother or sister? Where are you from and who do you support? Let me know in the chat. 43 minutes played. Cucurella now to take the throwing here on this left-hand side. 43 minutes played. 2.5 of the 40, sorry, 1.5 of the 45 to go. Gallagher heads it on. Havertz is there. Back to Mudryk. Mudryk out, but it's intercepted. Pereira brings the ball under control. Out wide to Decadova Reed. Beautiful play by Mitrovic. But it falls to Enzo Fernandez, and he goes on it back to Kepa here. Loses the ball to Pereira, but Thiago Silva is there, and James will head it on. But it falls to Paulinho, and Fulham are on top of Chelsea right now with Willian. Into Pereira. Out wide towards Decadova Reed, but it's overhit. Cucurella finds Fernandez, and Fernandez turns into Havertz on the halfway line. Backwards to Enzo Fernandez. Into Ziyech on the centre circle. Bringing the ball into the Fulham half. Into Havertz, but it's intercepted there by Pereira. And Mitrovic goes backwards to Decadova Reed. Here we go with Paulinho. Into Pereira. Decadova Reed just couldn't get there. Buddy Ashile does. And he finds Mason Mount. Here we go with Ziyech. Switches it over the top towards Havertz, who's in behind here. Offside flag stays down. Havertz in behind. And Issa Diop stops it off the line. Issa Diop stops it off the line. The flag doesn't go down. Flag doesn't go up. It stayed down here. What an opportunity that was. Ziyech picks the ball up, and Issa Diop looks to be trying to play him outside, but Havertz carries on with his run. Let's have a look at this. Oh, he's onside. Issa Diop was in no man's land, and Havertz tries to chip the keeper. And I think it comes off the crossbar. Yeah, it comes off the post, sorry. Back into play. 45 minutes played. Chelsea nearly got a goal up here in this London derby. 1 minute of added time, ladies and gentlemen. Fulham 0, Chelsea 0 here on Cal Sports Football. How are we all to it? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Where you all from? Who do you support? Let me know in the chat. Don't be afraid to say hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a platform for all football fans to come together and talk football. As Ziyech takes the ball off Robinson. James into Gallagher. Backwards to James. Silva goes back to Kepa. And he'll just clear it down the line. Havertz loses the ball to Reem. Decadova Reed brought down by Cucurella. And the free kick is given here on the centre circle. No, the free kick isn't given. The referee blows for half time here on Cal Sports Football. It's Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, and Chelsea have come the closest. Both falling to Havertz, couldn't get him on target. Enzo Fernandez has had an alright game so far, but ladies and gentlemen, it is 0-0 so far. I'm going to take a quick break, so I'll see you for the second half. Stay tuned. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Second half here on Cal Sports Football with Chelsea taking on Fulham. The Premier League is back this weekend. Chelsea shooting from right to left, Fulham from left to right. Oh, Madueke has come on. Who's he come on for? Madueke. Reece James, is it? Madueke? I think it's for Reece James. Oh no, it's Mudrik. Mudrik. Interesting. Here we go with Kepa now over the top towards Muduike, but it's cleared away to Paulinho. Intercepted there by Gallagher, but it falls to Tete. 1-2 with Deckard over Reed, but it's intercepted there by Muduike. Comes out wide here to Reed. Tries to feed him behind to Tete. But it goes all the way back to the keeper. 48 minutes played. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we to it? Thiago Silva on the pole here. Into James. James forced to go backwards to Kepa. And Chelsea restart here on the right side. Chelsea shooting from right to left in the second half. Fulham from left to right. Let's see who comes out on top. Badiashile now on the ball here on the right side, bringing the ball forward here. Mikhailo Mudrik has come off. And Muduike has come on. I think is how you say his name. Silver on the ball here. Squares it into the path of Badiashile on the centre circle. First time in towards Mesama. Mesama loses the ball, lets it Issa Diop. And Fulham come away with it here with Deckard over Reed, who's got space to run into. Enzo Fernandez is tracking back. Issa Diop with overlapping run. Deckard over Reed now. Whips the ball in there. Oh, and Mitrovic couldn't get there. Mitrovic couldn't get there. Badiashile now. Goes backwards to Kepper on the right side. Returns it back to Badiashile, sorry, who has time to turn. Tries to feed it first time into Enzo Fernandez, but it's a misplaced pass. But Gallagher's there to pick up the pieces for Chelsea. But his pass is intercepted by Pereira. And Andres Pereira's gone in. Into Cucurella, and that's going to be a yellow card here for Andres Pereira. "50 minutes played. Chelsea nil, Fulham nil. How are we all to it?" Chelsea restart here on the 50th minute. Andres Pereira, Brazilian, might explain some of the challenges he's doing against. Maybe that explains some of the challenges he's putting in against Enzo Fernandez. No love lost between them two players. Badiashile now. Into Cucurella. First time into Mudueke. Cucurella can't get away from the play. Falls to Paulinho. Reed loses the ball to Mudueke. He finds Enzo Fernandez, returns it back to him, and he tries to the ball in towards Havertz, but it's just overhit. And it goes all the way into the path of Leno on the left-hand side. Leno now on the left-hand side. Goes out to Robinson. Robinson into Willian. Tries to feed it into Reed, but he loses the ball to Gallagher. And Ziyech finds Enzo Fernandez. Intercepted there by Willian. Paulinho there. Can't get there ahead of Enzo Fernandez, but Reed is there. And feeds the first time ball over the top towards Deckard over Reed, but Badiashile is there. Cucurella out to the left-hand side. Mudueke holds on to the ball. He's forced to go backwards to Badiashile. Squares it into the path of Thiago Silva on the centre circle. Goes out wide towards Reece James on the right side. He's got Ziyech ahead of him. Gallagher making the run into the box. But James holds on to it and he finds Ziyech. Ziyech is in behind defenders across the 6-yard box. And Issa Diop is there to clear it away for Fulham. And Chelsea restart here on the right side. James from the throw-in. Backwards to Silva. Silva holds on to it, looking for some movement. Goes out wide to Ziyech. 1-on-1 against Willian. Left foot into the box. Headed away by Diop. Flicked on by Robinson. And it falls back to Thiago Silva. And he goes backwards to Badiashile on the centre circle. Chelsea now have the ball with Badiashile. Into Thiago Silva. Ziyech. Left foot on the halfway line. Switches it over the top towards Mason Mount. But it's headed away by Issa Diop. Havertz wins the ball. Cucurella finds Muduike down this left-hand side. Havertz. Enzo Fernandez. Squares it into the path of Thiago Silva. In the Fulham half. Goes out wide towards James. On the touchline. First time into Ziyech. Tries to return it back to James, but it's intercepted now by Robinson. Ziyech manages to find James into Gallagher. Goes out wide to Reece James across the 6-yard box. Mudueke is tracking back and is headed away by Tete. And it goes out for a corner here. Corner here. Down this left-hand side. '54th minute here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Gallagher to take the corner here. Down this left-hand side. Whipped in by Gallagher. Near post. Needs to do better there. Goes out for a goal. Throwing down this left-hand side. Needs to do far better there. Cucurella into Ziyech, who turns. But it's intercepted and Tete will just usher that out for a goal kick. '55th minute here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Kepa. Long kick out from the back into Mitrovic, but Badiashile is there to win the header. Reed flicks it on. Cucurella into the path of Enzo. Out wide to Madueke. Cucurella's pass is intercepted by Tete. Makes his way out wide. He towards Deckard over Reed. Over the top towards Pereira. But he can't get on the end of it. It's going to fall to James. And James goes backwards to Kepa on the right side. Kepa over the top towards James. Heads it on, but into the path of Willian. And Willian keeps in play here on the halfway line. 55 minutes played. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Reed. Goes backwards to the keeper. Leno. Leno on this left-hand side into Issa Diop. First time over the top, but it's intercepted there by Mason Mount. It falls to Madueke. And he's brought down there. Free kick here. Chelsea down this left-hand side. Just in the Fulham half. Reed bringing him down. Here we go with Thiago Silva on this right side. Threads a pass into Gallagher, who's in between the lines. He's got James on that right side. Robinson's tracking back. James holds on to it here. Goes backwards to Ziyech. 1-on-1 against Willian. Goes around the left-hand side. Whipped into the box there, but it's headed away by Diop. Pereira holds onto the ball here, and he finds Decador, who finds Mitrovic on the centre circle. Turns, but he loses the ball to Mason Mount, but Paulinho's there, who's brought down. Free kick, Fulham. '57th minute here. Ream into Reed, out wide to Tete, gets away from Mason Mount, but he's brought down by Mason Mount, and he's going to get a yellow card for that. Not happy with that. He doesn't get anything, Mason Mount. Just a few words from the referee. Here we go with Issa Diop. Over the top, towards Decadova Reed, making the running behind, but Kepa will gather it in his hands. Chelsea restart here on the right side. Looks like Raheem Sterling and Azpilicueta are going to be coming on here. Thiago Silva. Badiashile. Goes backwards to Kepa. Kepa goes into Thiago on the right side. Wide to Reece James. Holds onto the ball. Tries to thread the pass down the line, and he finds Gallagher. But it's intercepted there by Paulinho. He finds Robinson. Back to Paulinho. Gets away from Enzo Fernandez, and he drives with the ball. But Ziyech is all over it. Out wide to Willian. Willian takes it in his stride. Got Robinson to his left. He gets himself into the box. Into Pereira. Pereira right foot shot is blocked by Cucurella. But it falls to Paulinho with a shot, and it's over the bar. Goal kick for Chelsea on the right side. How are we all to it? "59 minutes played. Chelsea making a double substitution here. Hakim Ziyech coming off for Raheem Sterling. And Reece James comes off, which is the right decision. Reece James, you've just got him back from injury. You don't want to rush it. He's had a 60-minute run around. Badiashile to Cucurella. Into Mason Mount. First time into Gallagher, who's brought down by Pereira. Free kick given full at Chelsea's way. Pereira needs to be careful here. He's on a yellow card. Azpilicueta into Madueke on the centre circle. Into Cucurella. Cucurella out to Raheem Sterling on the left side. 1-on-1 against Tete. He goes backwards to Cucurella. All the way back to Badiashile. Squares it into the path of Thiago Silva. Out wide there towards Azpilicueta in between the lines here. Takes it out of his feet. First time into Madueke. 1-on-1 against Reem. Cuts in on his left foot. Into Gallagher on the edge of the box. Gallagher takes it out of his feet. Into Cucurella. Cucurella out wide to Raheem Sterling on this left-hand side. 1-on-1 against Tete. Cucurella makes overlapping run. He cuts in on his right foot. Into Mason Mount on the edge of the box. But he goes out wide to Cucurella. When are Chelsea going to shoot here? Sterling into Mason Mount. Backwards to Badiashile into Thiago Silva. Goes out wide to Madueke. 1-on-1 against the defender Robinson. Left foot into the box. Over everyone, and Tete is there to head it away. And Fulham restart here on this left-hand side. Free kick Fulham. What is going on with Sterling's hair, man? Leno to restart here on this left-hand side. Long kick out from the back by the keeper. Headed on by Mitrovic. Pereira can't get there. Enzo heads it back to Kepa, and Chelsea restart here on the 62nd minute. Azpilicueta on that right side returns it back to Kepa, and he goes short to Badiashile. Badiashile now bringing the ball forward with time into the Fulham half. Goes short to Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling has got Azpilicueta down to his left, but he throws the pass into Mason Mount, but it's overhit. And he allows Leno to gather it in his hands. Leno now from the goal kick. Mitrovic brings the ball under control here down the right side. Into Reed, over the top towards Decordova. Reed headed away by Badiashile. And it falls to Cucurella on the touchline. Into Mount Havertz. Backwards to Gallagher on the centre circle. He's got Madueke down the right side. He gets on the ball, but Robinson ball watching Madueke. Robinson takes it away from him. And he's got space to bring the ball forward down the left-hand side. He's got 3 players to aim for across the 6-yard box, but Badiashile is there to clear away. Willian can't get at the end of it, and Gallagher does. And it falls to Robinson. Pereira now on the ball. Loses the ball to Gallagher, and he's actually brought down. And it's a free kick for Fulham, and I think Gallagher's going to get a yellow card here. And he does. Just a bit aggressive by Gallagher there. Robinson's been brilliant for Fulham. 64th minute here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Andreas Pereira steps over to take the free kick here. A draw isn't good enough for Chelsea. A loss is even worse. What can Fulham do from this free kick? Short to Reed, who switches it out wide here towards Decordova. Reed brings the ball under control. 1-on-1 gets Havertz, goes around the outside. Tries to put a cross in, but it's blocked and it falls to Raheem Sterling. And Chelsea come away with it here with a counter. But great tackle by Tete. And it goes back to Badiashile. Azpilicueta bringing the ball forward. Into Gallagher. Enzo Fernandez hasn't been anywhere in this second half. Cucurella to Raheem Sterling. Backwards to Badiashile. Squares it into the path of Thiago Silva. And it goes out wide to Madueke. Tries to put it in behind to Azpilicueta, but Robinson's tracking back. And it goes out for a corner on that far right hand side. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. 65th minute played. Like I said in the first half, Chelsea don't have height on corners. Havertz, Badiashile, Thiago Silva maybe. Gallagher steps over to take the corner. So there's not really a lot of height in the box when you compare it to Issa Diop, Mitrovic, Reem, Paulinho, Tete. Ball whipped in there, headed on by Thiago Silva. But it falls into the hands of Leno here. Cucurella now. Goes backwards to the keeper, Kepa. Kepa up top towards Raheem Sterling, who brings the ball under control. And look at him being grabbed by Decordova Reed, and that's going to be a yellow card for Decordova Reed. How long do you want to hold on to him, young lad? If you want his shirt, just ask for it at the end of the game. Look at him. '66th minute here. Cucurella now to take the free kick. And it goes back to Badiashile. Thiago Silva. To Badiashile. He goes backwards to Thiago Silva. And he goes all the way back to the keeper here. Badiashile. Over the top towards Raheem Sterling. But it falls to Issa Diop. And he goes out wide to Decadova Reed. No one scored yet. Nope, not yet, Mrs. Couch. But Chelsea nearly went to goal up in the first half. Hit the post by Kai Havertz. Here we go with Badiashile on the trying side into Enzo Fernandez. Goes backwards to Thiago Silva. Fulham trying to press here. Out wide to Cesar Azpilicueta. Madueke flicks it into the path of Gallagher. Gallagher gets the header Ream. But he's brought down and that's going to be a free kick. Chelsea down that right side. 67th minute played. Fernandez into Badiashile. Holds onto the ball, back to Enzo. And he goes out wide to Thiago Silva on the right side. Chelsea with the ball. Thiago Silva over the top towards Madueke, making the run behind, but Robinson wins the header. And Ream is there to head it out, but he falls to Azpilicueta. Comes up Paulinho, but Madueke is there to win the ball. He gets away from Willian. And he goes backwards to Thiago Silva and Chelsea. Restart from the back here with Badiashile on the centre circle. Out wide to Thiago Silva. Bringing the ball forward. Threads it into Madueke, but it's intercepted there by Reem Pereira into Reed. Reed gets away from Madueke over the top to Willian, who's in behind Thiago Silva. Badiashile is coming over to cover. Willian on the edge of the box. He tries to feed it out wide to Decadova Reed, whose shot is wasted opportunity by Fulham. What are you doing? You're in behind, Willian. What are you doing? You have so much time. And he goes for the first time pass. So much time, Willian. Wasted opportunity there. Here we go with Cucurella on the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side towards Raheem Sterling. Holds onto the ball here. Squares into the path of Cucurella. Into Enzo Fernandez on the centre circle, who has time to turn. Intercepted by Mitrovic, and he brings the ball forward here. Into the Chelsea half. Goes for goal here from a long way out. Ooh. Woo! And Kepa stops it from going in. Thiago Silva. Badiashile. Cucurella. Back to Badiashile. Thiago Silva on the ball here. Again, returns it back to Badiashile. Bringing the ball forward. No movement ahead. He's got Enzo on the centre circle. Mason Mount, but he goes into Havertz. It's back to Badiashile. Thiago Silva on the centre circle. Out wide to Azpilicueta. 69th minute. Lays into the path of Madueke. Finds Gallagher in behind. Reem comes over to cover. Gallagher 1-on-1 against him. Holds onto the ball. Returns it back to Madueke. And again goes backwards to Thiago Silva. Fulham forcing Chelsea to go backwards. Badiashile on the centre circle over the top towards Raheem Sterling, who puts the ball. Doesn't do nothing. He doesn't do nothing. He absolutely miskicks the ball. He whiffs it. And it goes out for a goal kick. '70th minute play. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Long ball over the top towards Mitrovic, who gets the head of Badiashile, but Cucurella is helping him out and goes backwards to Kepa. Kepa out wide towards Madueke. Goes backwards to Gallagher. Gallagher in behind to Havertz. Can he keep it in? Yes, he does keep it in play on the right side. 1-on-1 against Reed. He drives with the ball, gets himself on the edge of the box into Madueke, but it's intercepted there by Reed. And it falls to Enzo Fernandez, whose shot is just wide. Enzo Fernandez going for a debut goal here. Leno now from the goal kick. Again, Mitrovic has time to bring the ball under control. Plays it 1-2 with Decadova Reed, but miscontrols it and it falls to Cucurella. Mitrovic is struggling here. Thiago Silva goes backwards to Kepa. First time into Azpilicueta. Into Enzo. Out wide to Madueke. But it's intercepted by Robinson. But Madueke is there to win the ball back. And he holds on to it here. Lays it into the path of Cucurella. And Chelsea have time to counter here on the 72nd minute. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Into the path of Raheem Sterling. Gets away from Decadova Reed. Lays it into the path of Madueke. On 1-on-1 against the defender. Into Mount. Mount on the turn. Shot is blocked by Reem. And it goes up for a corner, I think it does. Or does it go out for a throwing? Oh no, it goes out for a corner. And again, 72nd minute here, corner for Chelsea. Where's the height in this team? Havertz is the tallest. Badiashile and Thiago Silva, but Gallagher to take it. Can't get it past the near post. Robinson heads it away into the path of Mason Mount. Out wide to Gallagher, 1-on-1 against Willian. Can't get away from him. Chelsea throwing down that right side. 73 minutes played, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Azpilicueta gets around the outside of Willian, but goes out for a goal kick here on this left-hand side for Fulham. A double substitution here for Fulham. Harry Wilson and Solomon coming on here for Fulham. Leno to restart the game here. Long kick out by the keeper. Mitrovic heads it away. But it comes off by the Eshile and it goes out for a Fulham throw. So Solomon is coming on here for number 14. So Decadova Reed. So Solomon comes on here for Decadova Reed. And Willian comes off for Harry Wilson. It looks like Fofana's coming on here for Chelsea as well. Fofana for Havertz, is it? Or Mason Mount? Mount. So Fofana comes on for Mason Mount, which means Havertz goes back into midfield and Fofana goes through the middle. So 2 substitutions for Fulham. Solomon coming on for Decadova Reed and Harry Wilson coming on here for Willian. In that time, Chelsea also made a substitution with Mason Mount coming off for Fofana. Here we go with Chelsea on the ball, 75th minute. Cucurella couldn't keep it in play, goes out for a Fulham throwing here down the left-hand side. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. How are we doing? Tete to take the throwing. Over the top towards Mitrovic, who heads it into the path of Harry Wilson. But Thiago Silva is there. Plays a 1-2 with Cucurella. Left foot. Intercepted by Reed. Goes out for a Chelsea throwing. Cucurella to take it. Cucurella into Havertz on the halfway line. Goes backwards to Thiago Silva. Holds onto the ball here. Looking for a pass. Who's he going to go for? He goes out wide to Badiashile. On the right side, Badiashile falls backwards to Kepa. Kepa into the path of Thiago on the right side. Brings the ball forward. Out wide to Cucurella. Backwards to Thiago Silva holds onto the ball, lays it into the path of Badiashile on that right side. Into Madueke on that, over the top towards Gallagher on that right side, who's in behind. Paulinho's coming over to cover, right foot into the box, but it's blocked by Paulinho, and it goes out for a throwing on that right side. And it says that Azpilicueta to take the throwing. Into Gallagher, out wide to Azpilicueta, into Madueke, but it's behind him. And it goes out for, another Chelsea throwing. Taken quickly into Gallagher, but it's cleared away by Ream. And Badiashile goes all the way back to Kepa on the shine side. Thiago Silva on the centre circle, over the top towards Sterling, headed away by Tete, and it falls to Harry Wilson, but it's intercepted there by Cucurella, and he goes backwards to Enzo Fernandez. And he lays it into the path of Thiago Silva, first time into Gallagher, who turns, but he's forced to go into Havertz. Havertz is in between the lines, out wide to Madueke, 1-on-1 against Robinson, into the middle, but it's cleared away. Forced to Gallagher, whose shot is wide off the net. And it's a goal kick here for Fulham on this left-hand side. 78th minute played. Fulham restart the game here. 78th minute. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Starting to get a bit dire for Chelsea. Headed on by Mitrovic into Reed, but Gallagher gets there first. And he comes away with a ball. Sees a run over the top towards Fofana. Can he get there? Yes, he does. He goes on the outside of Leno. Puts the ECT up to the ground. His shot is blocked by Reed on the line. And it goes out for a corner. What does this Chelsea team need to do to score? He puts the keeper down. He puts Diop down. And Reem is there on the line. Corner here for Chelsea. 79th minute. Whips in near post. Again, no one can get past the near post for Chelsea. Their corners have been shocking. Fofana on the ball in his own box. Can't get away from Paulinho. And it goes out for a goal kick. $80 million. Sorry, 80 minutes. 80 million. 80 minutes on the clock. Chelsea 0. Fulham 0. All over the place. Last 10 of the 90. 9.5 minutes to go. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Fulham have a free kick here on the 80th minute. A goal now would send shockwaves into the Chelsea boardroom. Headed away into Reed, but it falls to Raheem Sterling, and he finds Fofana, but Robinson's down the centre circle to clear away. Cucurella heads it on, and it falls to Tete, who gets away from Havertz, but Havertz wins the ball back, and he goes backwards to Cucurella, tries to return it back to Havertz, and Harry Wilson is there. And Robinson now has the ball here for Fulham, bringing the ball forward into the Chelsea half, out wide to Reed. He makes overlapping run, Robinson, but Reed holds onto it, switches it out to that left-hand side towards Solomon. But it's headed away by Azpilicueta, intercepted by Harry Wilson, and it falls to Mitrovic. Here we go with Solomon on the left-hand side. 1-on-1 against Azpilicueta. Holds onto it, backwards to Paulinho. Right foot shot is blocked by Enzo. And Pereira brings the ball under control into Tete. Tries to feed it in behind to Reed. Can he get there ahead of Cucurella? He does. And it goes out for a throwing. For a Fulham throwing here on the shine side. 81 minutes played. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. How are we all doing? Tete to take the throwing on the 82nd minute. Into Harry Wilson. Back to Tete. Back to Harry Wilson. Into Tete. Into Reed. But it comes off Enzo Fernandez. And goes out for a goal kick. 82 minutes played. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Cucurella on the shine side. Goes backwards to Badiashile in his own box. Bringing the ball forward. Lays it into the path of Thiago. Tries to thread it into Havertz, who does well on the centre circle. Lays it into Enzo Fernandez. First time out to the left-hand side to Cucurella. Cucurella holds onto it. Tries to put it behind to Raheem Sterling, but Tete is there. Just uses his strength to stop him from getting anywhere, and he holds onto it here. It's a free kick, Fulham. 83rd minute here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Ben Chilwell's coming on here for Chelsea. 83rd minute, 6.5 minutes to go. Yellow card here for someone. I don't know who. To Marco Silva. What did he get a yellow card for? No idea, but Chelsea come away with the ball on the halfway line with Havertz. But he loses it to Solomon. And gets away from Havertz. Into the path of Pereira. Pereira on the halfway line. Out wide to Solomon. Can't get away from Azpilicueta. And it falls to Havertz on the halfway line. Out wide to Madueke. Gets away from the defender. Drives with the ball here. Into the middle. Lays into the path of Fofana. Out wide to Havertz. Havertz takes in his stride. But Robinson's tracking back. And Fulham have it here with Tete. He's not out of the danger here. Tete loses the ball to Fofana. The referee pulls it back for a free kick. 84th minute here. 85th minute here, ladies and gentlemen. Still 0-0. '85th minute here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0 here on Cal Sports Football. Over the top from the goal kick, headed away by Thiago Silva into Fofana. Backwards to Enzo Fernandez. Fofana tries to flick on, but Reem is there. And he'll just clear it away. Can Solomon get in the end of it? No, Thiago Silva's there. And he goes backwards to Kepa on the 6-yard box. Into the path of Enzo. Enzo has time to turn to bring the ball forward here. Into the path of Raheem Sterling on the halfway line. Ben Chilwell makes overlapping run, but Raheem Sterling holds onto it. Brings the ball into the Fulham half. Switches it out wide there towards Madueke. Heads it on, but there's no one there for Chelsea. And it goes all the way back to the keeper on this left-hand side. 86th minute here on Car Sports Football. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Leno to restart the game. 680 million this match day squad cost Chelsea. On the other hand, Fulham 123 million. Ball high up into the air by Leno. Mitrovic is there to head it on, but it goes out for the throwing on the right side. When are we going to see Carlos? Come on. When are we going to see Carlos? Come on. Badiashile. Backwards to Havertz. Sorry, Kepa. Into Badiashile. Chilwell. Goes backwards to Badiashile. Into Thiago Silva on the right side. Bringing the ball forward here for Chelsea. Azpilicueta makes overlapping run, but Silva holds onto it. Gets away from Mitrovic, and he finds Badiashile on the centre circle. Enzo Fernandez gets away from Reed, but he goes backwards to Silva. Silva on that right side, bringing the ball forward. Aspilicueta to his right, but he goes into Enzo Fernandez on the halfway line. Out to the left-hand side, he finds Chilwell. Raheem Sterling is alongside him. He holds onto the ball here. Ben Chilwell backwards to Enzo Fernandez. Into Gallagher. Gallagher takes it out of his feet. Pereira makes him go backwards into Thiago Silva on the centre circle. In the Fulham half. Into Enzo Fernandez, 87th minute here, out to the left-hand side towards Chilwell. Raheem Sterling makes a run behind, but Tete is there, and Tete wins the ball back. And ladies and gentlemen, if it stays like this, Tete wins man of the match. He shrugged off Mudryk, he shrugged off Sterling, he shrugged off everyone that's come down this left-hand side. Tete to take the throwing here, and Carlos Vinicius is going to be coming on here for Fulham. Paulinho into Pereira, flicks it on, but it's headed away by Badiashile. Fofana can't bring the ball under control. Reed does, and he's brought down. Free kick, Fulham. 88th minute, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Reed back up on his feet here. 88th minute. 1.5 of the 90 to go plus added time. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Ball over the top towards Mitrovic, headed away by Thiago. Solomon can't get there. Mitrovic brings the ball under control here. Out wide to Robinson, who gets the head of Madueke. But his ball is straight to the hands of Kepa, and Chelsea restart here on the right side. Badiashile. Chilwell on the left-hand side. But Badiashile decides to go over the top. Issa Diop wins the header. Paulinho gets there ahead of Sterling and Havertz, and he falls to Pereira on the centre circle, and his Mitrovic into Harry Wilson, but it's intercepted there by Badiashile. Tries to flick it over the top towards Solomon, but it's intercepted by Cesar Aspilicueta, and it's Madueke on the right side, who drives with the ball into the Fulham half, but Fofana can't get there, and it falls to Pereira into the path of Wilson on the centre circle. Backwards to Tete. Reed on the centre circle down the ball. Not going to go chasing this goal, Fulham. Reed drives with the ball, but he's brought down. And it will be a free kick for Fulham in a very dangerous position here. And Kai Havertz brings him down. And Kai Havertz has been shocking in this game. Kai Havertz has absolutely been shocking, whether it's going forward or if it's going backwards. No matter where he's been on the pitch, he has been horrendous today. Look like he's going to be a double substitution here for Fulham. Carlos Vinicius coming on here for Mitrovic, who looks absolutely exhausted. He looks exhausted, Mitrovic. Five minutes of added time here. 5 minutes of added time. How are we all doing? Where are we all from? Are we Chelsea fans? Are we Fulham fans? Are we just fans of football? Ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 minutes of added time here, and Fulham have a free kick on this right side with Andres Pereira to put it into the box, but it's headed away by Thiago Silva. Tete jumps up for it, but it comes out to Solomon with a shot and it's cleared away, and it's almost comes off a rebound, and it goes out for a goal kick on the right side. 91 minutes played, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0 here on Cal Sports Football. 4 minutes of added time to play, ladies and gentlemen. 630 million. This Chelsea squad is the value of this squad, 630 million. 123 for Fulham. But it's still 0-0 here in the Premier League with Enzo Fernandez. The £106 million player goes backwards to Thiago. Into the path of Badiashile on the centre circle. He finds Gallagher now, who has time to turn out to the left-hand side. It's Madueke. Into Gallagher, back to Madueke. Looks at Madueke and Raheem Sterling have switched sides. Tries to dink it into the box, but it's headed away by Issa Diop. And Tete finds Harry Wilson and is cleared away by Paulinho. And it goes out for a Chelsea throwing. Here we go with Chilwell. 1-2 with Enzo. Forced to go backwards and he loses it to Harry Wilson here on the halfway line. But he's brought down and it's a free kick here for Fulham on the halfway line. Ben Chilwell there loses it on the 92nd minute. Tete, right, Kenny Tete, 10 duels won, 7 crosses, 4 fouls won. First in all those fields. Man of the match performance in this, the right one. 92nd minute here. Over the top towards Carlos Vinicius, but it's headed away. Havertz tries to get in the end of it on the halfway line, but Issa Diop is there. He gets there ahead of Madueke and he just clears it high up into the air. Raheem Sterling is there on the halfway line. He gets away from Pereira, but he can't get away from Paulinho. And it's a triple threat, but he loses the ball and Raheem Sterling comes away with the ball. And he's just brought down. That's going to be a yellow card here for Harry Wilson. That's a yellow card there for Harry Wilson, who just brings him down. Raheem Sterling's just getting into gear. That's a tactical foul if I've ever seen one. '93rd minute here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. 1.5 minutes to go. Another substitution here for Fulham. Kazawa, former PSG man, coming on for Pereira. Andreas Pereira comes on and Kazawa comes off. Sorry, Andreas Pereira goes off and Kazawa comes on. Chilwell into the box. Goes over everyone. It comes out to Thiago Silva. And it goes out for a corner on that right side of Carlos Vinicius for Chelsea. 94th minute here. Ben Chilwell steps over to take the corner. Is this the moment for Chelsea? Like I said, there's no height in the box for them. Havertz is the tallest man. Fofana's got a bit about him, but we'll have to wait and see. Chilwell with the corner here. Left foot into the box. Falls to Badiashile. Falls to Fulham and they manage to clear it away. But it comes to Madueke. Into Raheem Sterling. Right foot on the edge box. But Leno gathers it in his hands. And Fulham restart here on this left-hand side. And it's Fulham who will restart here. The 95th minute is played, ladies and gentlemen. Robinson with the header. Falls to Azpilicueta. Raheem Sterling on the right side. Holds onto the ball here. Gets away into Gallagher. Gallagher backwards to Thiago Silva. Chelsea fans urging the ball to move forward. Badiashile on the centre circle. Out wide to Chilwell on the halfway line. He goes into Fofana. Madueke into Chilwell. Chilwell holds onto the ball. Backwards to Gallagher. Out to Enzo Fernandez. Loses the ball to Wilson. Goes out for a Chelsea throwing. We played 30 seconds extra. Gallagher into Madueke. Can't get away from Wilson. Gallagher now on the ball. Gets away from Wilson. Drives with the ball towards the edge of the box. He gets away. Twinkle toes himself into the box. But it's a... oh no, Fofana wins it back here for Chelsea. When's the referee going to blow this whistle? It goes out for a Chelsea throwing down this left-hand side. 96 minute played. Madueke on the ball. Goes on the outside of Wilson. Left foot into the box. It's clear away to the path of Fofana. But it falls to Tom Kearney. And they manage to clear it away. Only into the pass to Thiago Silva on the centre circle. Enzo Fernandez. The referee carries on 96 minute. Badiashile right foot into the box. But it's overhit. And it'll go out for a goal kick. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. It has finished full time here. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0 here on Car Sports Football. And it's not the way Graham Potter will have wanted his revival to start after the transfer window. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea have a long way to go. But Todd Bowley has thrown everything he possibly can into the path of Graham Potter, who now needs to make the Mona Lisa of football, to try and help this Chelsea team push up into the qualification for the Champions League, go deep in the Champions League this season. Can Chelsea do it? Well, Graham Potter certainly can. The question is, will he be given the time to do so? Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out. I'll see you next time. Stay safe. Peace.